talking to Dolores. At least we think it's Arnold.
Do you think it's Arnold?
Do you think that was Arnold, or do you think that was Bernard talking to Dolores?
It's hard to tell.
It is very hard to tell.
Okay, you gotta say more than it's hard to
Well,
tell.
it's hard to tell. There's a whole room. There's a whole room full of Bernard Arnolds.
Yeah.
Bernard Arnolds.
Bernard.
Bernard.
It's Bernards.
I call them Bernards.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a whole room. So I mean, you don't really know, and they don't really give you a time setting either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What I didn't the second time we watched
you don't know if it's in the future, in the present, or in the past. You have no idea.
Here's my first thought when I saw this: Dolores talking to Bernard.
Correct.
But is it?
See, the thing to me is, I think it's either way in the future.
We don't know anything.
I think it's in the future. Bernard talking to or Dolores talking to Arnold. And
I don't think
all
it's
that
in the
shit.
future.
Or it's in the past. It's Arnold and
past.
Dolores because they filmed it like cinematically, like with the black bars and shit. I think that's on purpose to let you know that's not in this timeline. So I think it's either after this season or way before.
That's bullshit. Because I don't ever see black bars.
I know. We're fucking watching an IMAX movie. And this guy, I was like, "Did you notice it went IMAX?" Because I always ask him because he never fucking does.
Yeah, I don't see that.
And he's
shit.
like, "No."
No. So why do I have to pay more money to fucking see something I don't notice?
But my point is,
Right.
they did that specifically for people who have eyes and can see that. But I think they did that on purpose to let us know that it's not the same timeline.
All right, I think it's in the past, and I think it's in the past because Bernard tells Dolores, "I am scared of what you could become."
Yeah, see, that's what I told him. That's how I thought that too.
And now we're seeing her become what he is afraid of.
Yeah, because that conversation would be weird if it's after she's evil and shit, like shooting down Indians in the park.
Because I mean, like, what else could she morph into if she's like this cold-blooded now?
Yeah,
Bernard had to be in the control room when the shit hit the fan.
That's what it looks like.
Or
yeah,
was
if that's because
because he wasn't at the party, right?
No, he was. He saw Ford die. So that.
Oh, so then he went back.
So, but what if that's again? What if there's these multiple Bernards going around?
See,
there has to be. I would assume there's multiples of a lot of the higher ups. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah. So this is going with that too. So I don't know if you noticed this in the episode. I saw some screenshots online, and all the flashbacks on Ford. I think it's like this side of his head. He has a scar right here that he had all last season as well. But then, and now it's gone. In every scene in the present day, or at least the present, when he's on the beach with the Delos members, it's gone. But in the flashbacks of the season, it's there. That's his whole adventure with Charlotte Hale that we see this episode, and it's gonna
She's fucking hot.
It's gonna go on more, and but why does he wash up on the beach with a champagne glass in his hand, or like at least by him?
Party.
Yeah, but he didn't wash up. That's 2 weeks later. He's doing other shit.
That's what I mean. Like we're supposed to believe that he was just laying on the beach for fucking 2 weeks.
The only difference is if that's the real Bernard that was at the party, that one doesn't have the scar on the side of his head, and the other one in these flashbacks do.
I just don't. I mean, I'm happy to say I don't honestly know.
So you think they're gonna go to that room of Bernard's and nothing's gonna come of that? That's just a tease for us to theorize on.
Fucking with you,
Bernard talking. This his scar missing. What do you guys say about that?
I don't know.
I think
bad CGI.
There's no way they didn't do that on purpose. Have his scar missing in different scenes. Maybe. And it's the specific, like every flashback scene they did his makeup right. But every flashback they did the makeup right, but every present day one they didn't. Like that can't be an accident.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So that has to be something. Yeah. When the guy cuts open the host's head and then he sees the maze, he's like, "What the fuck's that about?" And they throw it to the side or whatever.
Yeah.
He says that's not fuck, I forgot the word, but that's not sanitary.
Yeah.
So like it kind of
what the fuck is that about?
I think it means because the hosts are kind of like humans, they can decay and get infected, like all that shit. So, and then also when we see the Bengal tiger show up on the beach, there's flies all over it, it's decaying.
Yeah, there's flies all over the Indian guy, too.
Yeah. So then we see Ford, and there's maggots in his head and all this shit. Do you think Ford's dead, or do you think that was a decaying host of Ford? Because as we've seen multiple times...
He brought up a good point, that if flies are buzzing around the fucking dead host, there would be maggots on the dead host.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Anthony Hopkins is dead because I don't think he's coming back.
That would be a great twist. But I think they definitely teed it up with the stuff they hinted at, little things, that he could possibly be alive.
Well...
And especially because, like, they showed so many times that people, like, he wasn't a host before, but how they can unscrew the brain and take out the host's brain and shit like that.
I thought that was pretty cool, actually.
I think they're teeing up us
that was actually cool.
for people to swap bodies.
Here, and this is where I'm going to jump in and tell you my first off-the-wall crazy theory.
Okay.
All right.
Man in Black is a host. He's a robot.
And you think William is like?
Who's William?
He's a robot.
like,
the Man in Black is a robot.
But do you think there's still a William out in the world somewhere, or do you think?
Possibly I do, but this one that we saw
In the park,
the one who like goes in the house and opens up the treasure chest or trunk and pulls out a brand new hat, I think he's a host.
So,
Why?
yeah, I was gonna say, why?
Okay, first of all, in the final episode of last season, so in the last episode of last season, it was either episode 9 or 10, Dolores and the Man in Black get into a fight in front of the church, right?
Yeah.
All right. It sure looked like the Man in Black, like Dolores, pretty much looked like it broke his arm.
I think she sprained it, because at the party, when he's walking in the party at the end, he kind of walks with a little bit of like a, ooh, my arm hurts, like, ooh.
I thought she could have dislocated the shoulder.
Yeah.
So I'm basically going off of that, and we're only 11 days away from last season. There's no way that would heal.
How do you know it's
2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Well, because
It's like 2 weeks.
But do you know that? But we don't know that
That's
he.
14 days.
I'm just speculating, Jerome.
Okay, I was gonna say we don't know that he woke up the 2 weeks. He could have woken up like the next morning or something.
Well, and we obviously know it's in this timeline because he says now it's time to have fun. You know,
Yeah.
like he's excited because it's as real as it's ever been.
I do think you're full of shit on that one. I just want to make that clear.
That's fine.
I'm not gonna say he's full shit. I'm intrigued. Because last year we said, "Oh, Hess, you're fucking stupid.
No, but that's-
you suck dick." And then next thing you know, Bernard's a host. So
But that's what I'm trying to get at. So the reason you think he's a host is because he broke his arm, and now it's fixed.
And then the whole hat thing. Like you just have a brand new hat chilling in the fucking thing at all
Do you
times.
remember season 1 when they gave him like 1,000 hats?
He owns the park.
I don't remember that.
He owns the park. Remember when Stubbs pulled up his iPad and said, "Oh, that host, he gets whatever he wants." I swear, if he becomes a host,
And he healed really fast. All I'm saying is I think there are at least two versions of him.
But tell me
There is
this:
a real Man in Black, and there is a host Man in Black.
Have we
to maybe
ever
throw
seen
the host off?
Have we ever seen a host heal itself?
But the host.
What?
Have you ever seen a host heal itself before?
Yeah, they have to go back to the
No,
thing.
they pull him in, but
who would have pulled in the Man in Black if he's fucking laying on the floor in the middle of the massacre?
That happened before. The fight with Dolores happened before the party, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's at the party. He's got an arm. He shakes it like he does a little Jimmy with it when he's at the party because his arm hurts.
Wait, what?
When he's walking,
Maybe he was dancing.
when he's walking into the party, his arm's all stiff because that was hours after his fight with Dolores. And then Dolores shoots forward, and then he falls over and gets all his bodies on top of him. And
I think we need
this
a doctor
episode.
to see if it was dislocated or broken.
I think it was just dislocated, and he's just like back in place. And then
Yeah, once
he's
it goes
going to
back
play.
in, you're good to go.
Right, exactly.
But like the thing is, no one would have been able to bring him in.
To fix him.
Yeah.
I guess. So, I don't know. This might be a little stretch here, but
Oh boy. If he says it's a stretch.
Ford has a plan and he's become music, right? Because like that's where they go. In the scene, in the sense that he's programming.
Wait, hold on.
What do you mean that's where they go?
Well, that's where they go when they cut to the bar or whatever. The piano's playing.
Oh, so you think Ford's the piano now?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait.
I think he's in the piano.
I thought he was a host.
Wait. Hold on.
Jesus Christ, you're killing me.
Hold on, but why would he become a piano?
No, I get you. You're trying to say he's like in the music and like controlling.
Right, like that, like he's.
You know, the music's not really there.
Because-
That's just for.
Well, but if you think about it, this was the very first time we didn't hear like a cover song playing from the piano. We actually heard like a 1920s or 30s jig or gig, whatever the fuck you want to call that.
1930s.
Little,
Let's call it a jig.
you know, like because any
That
other
was
time we hear the
horrible.
piano, well, anyways.
You're talking about when
Jerome-
when Dolores was on the killing spree?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's from
Like,
the
we always-
Sting.
Oh.
we always hear a cover. We always hear a
That's
cover.
true,
song.
we do.
I listened to a podcast this morning, and they were like, yeah, I think they just did it with it because it was a little cheesy.